Hello there, my name is Hocus Pocus, and welcome to the Minecraft Let's Play series. This is episode 129, and today we are kicking things off over in Oasis, our desert/plains village, which we are trying to convert into something a bit more luxurious for the inhabitants, but that is besides today's point. Anyway, if you're with me for last episode, you will remember we got underway with these custom trees that you can see behind me. There are also a couple more over here. I just got gifted a pumpkin pie because I am the hero of the village again. Of course, you can tell that by looking in the top right corner. So here are the other two custom trees that I built. We will add more throughout the village once we sort of get bearings with where buildings are going to be and where we have space to put trees and all that good stuff. However, as I say, I am the hero of the village. I did do a raid, the first one I've ever done on hard difficulty. And this contraption here, it doesn't really work anymore, and I'll tell you why. So a couple of updates ago, you could fly with the debuff required, which is called Bad Omen. From over in that direction, you could fly all the way around the village, enter the village by flying over the top of the killing mechanism here, and that would ensure that the raid would always spawn in this direction. So the raid would always come from that direction. It would walk towards the village and into the trap very easily and end up killing itself down to the last few witches, which you then had to go down and just chop up, but that was no big deal at all. However, now it's a little bit more unpredictable for the spawns. Doing that method or completing the same method doesn't give you the same outcome. The raid will still spawn in other directions, off to the left, off to the right, perhaps behind us. So I really need to figure something out. We probably will end up building a trench that runs around the entire village that will then sweep all of the mobs down into the system here. And that will eventually then kill all of them. It might take a little bit longer, but it will still be fully automatic. So that's the goal, a goal for this village in the future. Anyway, guys, today we won't be spending any more time at Oasis. We spent a bit of time here in the last episode and the last stream. So we'll leave it be for now, right? Let me just quickly drop off these two gifts that I was given, if I can find space for them somewhere. Which could be, there you go, not too difficult. Anyway, today we're going to be focusing on the Nether. I want to try to break through the bedrock ceiling, and there are some more gifts, some AirPods that are upside down. I want to try and break through the Nether ceiling and get on top of it so that we can eventually get work started on a gold farm. So give me a second, I'm going to collect a few resources back at the base, and we'll meet each other somewhere over there or in the Nether. I actually forgot there was something else I was going to do beforehand, you guys, so I'll quickly walk you through that in a second. What we want to do is we actually want to move our Nether portals up to the surface because I've finally decided that the Nether hub is no good being down here. So let's just ensure that we actually have a flint and steel. We do, good. That is the first step to success. And then what we're going to do is, as I say, we're going to just convert these Nether portals up to the surface. So we need to make sure that we map out the coordinates here. So where are we stood right now? This is 49 and negative 61. So we need to just replicate this portal on the surface, making it the same size, putting it in the same location, but obviously on the surface, as I've mentioned a few times now. And this should allow us to be up there rather than down here. And I think, as I say, that's just a better place for us to build our Nether hub, just because down here, if you dig, there is a lot of lava around. It's difficult to maneuver. Plus, a lot of our tunnels are going to be at a higher Y level than we are at now. So it will require us to dig upwards a lot, which I don't want to do. I'd rather be on the same level as the tunnels, so that we don't have to dig up or down too much. Anyway, I'm going to get this process complete because it's going to be a bit of a slow one, right, with the obsidian. And then we'll move these portals somewhere upstairs. Okay, here we go, guys. These are the bottom two corners mapped out, so we just need to fill in the rest of the portal here. So as you can see, 53 on the X, negative 61 on the Z, and then that goes all the way over to negative 65, which is exactly where it should be. And then we want to take this portal up to there, I think, and that is a misplacement. Luckily, with efficiency 5, obsidian isn't so bad to mine, so we will get rid of that quickly. That seems about right. Let's light it up, and I'm hoping that this takes us back to our portal in the base. Could be wrong, though. Let's see. And it does. Perfect. So we've linked up our new portal, which is good. So from this point on, we need to collect some resources so that we can actually get above the Nether ceiling. We also need to ensure that we've got enough obsidian to get ourselves back once we do so. We need to pop away this netherrack and these gas drops. So I've cleared out the inventory here, and we're left with the obsidian and flint and steel, which is a requirement of this task. We also need to grab ourselves some ender pearls. Okay, good. We need some minecart equipment, which we don't have, so we're going to have to craft a few things here. First of all, we need a minecart itself, and we also need a rail. So a minimum of 1 rail is required. Let's just ensure that we can do that. So we've got ourselves a minecart, and then we've got ourselves a set of rails. So 16, that should be way more than enough. As I say, a minimum of 1 is required. So 1 or more. And this right here should be all the equipment that we need to actually break through the nether ceiling and find ourselves on top of it. And then once we're on top, we can portal our way back to the overworld. And then we can think about breaking some of the bedrock so that we can always access the nether ceiling whenever we need to. So I'll meet you guys back over in the nether. In the nether, we need to find a suitable location to perform this trick, and then we will get it done. This looks like the perfect location for this trick. So to do it, you need to make sure that you're at Y125. That's as high as you can go without going any further in the nether. So that means that we are 1 block. There's 1 block between us and the ceiling of the nether. So this 1 bedrock above us here is the only thing keeping us from being on top of the ceiling. So what you want to do is you want to place down a track, place your cart on the track, and then preferably break the track so that the cart cannot move around. And then what you want to do is you want to hop in the cart, press shift, and then hope that you get stuck in between the cart and the bedrock, and then you can jump up and down, giving yourself a glimpse of the nether roof. And then as you see it, you can throw your pearl and ender pearl on top of the roof. So let's give this a shot. Okay, almost. Where we came out here, we're a bit stuck by the looks of things. So we need to relocate our cart. That should be no issue. It's right there. But you could see right there, we got a glimpse of the nether roof. So let's try that again. And just be sure to bring food so that you don't get yourself killed. And then again, okay, nope. It's going to be tough, right? This is going to be tough. It keeps pushing us away. So I'm going to give this a few attempts, I think. I haven't ever tried this before, so it might be a little bit more difficult for me since I have had no practice. But let's try again. Okay, yeah, we seem to be getting pushed away quite often, and now we are actually stuck. Okay, we're going to have to ender pearl out of here. There we go. So be sure to bring ender pearls, right? Because you can get in situations like that. Woohoo! We finally made it. So it took a few attempts, and as you can see, I'm down to 5 ender pearls, but eventually we got here. So one tip I'd give you is to always be aiming up, because you get such a split second to throw the pearl. It's best to aim up so that you get a good trajectory, so that it goes up above the bedrock and then lands back down above the roof. So what we need to do now is find the same coordinates that we built our portal on downstairs. So that is X53. So where are we going? We need to be heading in this direction. Okay, good. So X53, and then we have Z -61. So once we make it to 53, we'll sort of start careering towards -61, which is somewhere over here. So in this direction, we should be running. Oops, we've gone a bit too far. So there's 53. And then we want to head back in this direction. Just make sure we're staying on 53 here. Oops, I keep losing it because everything looks the same. There we go. We're on the right track. I can hear a lot of ghasts as well up here, but I'm not sure if they can spawn above the ceiling. I have no idea. Anyway, -61 is right here. 53 and -61, so let's do that. And then we need to carry on to 65, which is right here. Construct ourselves a little portal. So this doesn't have to be big at all. This can just be whatever size you want to make it. So we'll just do something like that. It's got a nice 3x3 interior. I think that should be fine. Light that thing up. And then again, we'll just hope that this brings us back to the surface world where we want it to. Here we go. And we're back. Awesome. So again, there are a lot of things that we need to perform the bedrock breaking trick, as you can imagine. It's not straightforward at all. So we're going to collect up a bunch of stuff, probably in a shulker box, take it back to where we were. We're also most likely going to need some more ender pearls because, as I say, it takes a few attempts to get back up there. So I think gathering a few more ender pearls might be a good idea right now. So I'm going to get up together the supplies that we need. I might even go out and hunt some endermen if it is nighttime. And then I'll bring you guys back in when we're ready to head back to the nether roof and think about destroying a piece of bedrock. Before me, in this shulker box, are the tools and materials required to break bedrock. So I'm following exactly how Pixelriffs did it in his tutorial video, which is part of his survival let's play tutorial series that he does. I think the episode is actually titled How to Break Bedrock, so you can find it fairly easily. So I've just followed his layout exactly, got everything that he brought with him. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this shulker box with us to the Nether. And once we're in the Nether, we're going to locate the ideal position for us to break the bedrock. So again, this has to be a 1 block thick piece of bedrock. That's the easiest way to do it. And ideally, we want to locate this piece of bedrock above our portals so that it's easy for us to access from where our Nether hub is going to be. So I'm going to head into the Nether. We're going to locate ourselves the position that is suitable for us to break the bedrock. And then once we've located that position, we'll head back on top of the Nether ceiling and begin the process. So it's quite a tedious one, but I will explain more once we get there. Okay, that was very close. As you guys may have saw, I only had 7 ender pearls. That's because I got lazy hunting the enderman. I managed to kill 1, gaining 2 pearls. And on our last pearl, our very, very last pearl, we made it through the roof and on top of the ceiling of the Nether. So we're here. And the block that we are going to be trying to remove is this one right here, 56, -70. It's fairly close to the portal, so, you know, it's a good location for us. If we remove this block, we should have a clear shot down to the Nether below. So I'm going to be following the Pixel Riffs video, as I said, and I think he even followed a tutorial himself, which he makes note of in his episode. So if you want to know the original location of this tutorial, you can find that in the Pixel Riffs video. As I say, I'm going to be following his tutorial step by step, so this is going to be a bit patchy, a bit bitty. I'm going to try and blend it all together so that we can do it on camera together. And then once we're about ready to break the block, we'll make the machine do what it needs to do. Hopefully it works, otherwise we might have to try again, but let's just see how this goes. Okay guys, let's get this build underway. So first of all, we need some redstone. And we're also going to need some of the track types, some redstone blocks, and that should be good for the start. So, facing south, which I think is this way. Yes, we're facing south. You can see that on the left-hand side on the debug screen. We need to pop a redstone block to the right-hand side of our block, so to the west of the block that we want to break. So this is facing west. And then coming away from the redstone block, we want a detector rail here. And then we want a regular rail right here, an activator, and a powered. Then using the blocks of redstone, create a double block like this. And then with the regular rails, we just want to do something like that. So far, so good. Okay, we need to memorize that this is the block we're trying to break just to the east of the redstone here. So let's move on to the next step. Time for some obsidian here. So let's grab the obsidian, and we're going to also need some pistons as well. So 1 piece of obsidian must go here and another here. And then following on from the obsidian placement, we need to go ahead and get a sticky piston right above the block that we want to break. So you can do that by being careful like that. And then a regular piston right next to it facing down. Also, you can then get rid of this block here. And again, with the regular rails, we just want to pop 2 right there like so. So in just a second, things will start to get slightly weird if this does work. However, what we want to do is come on top of the pistons here. And again, I just need to replace the rails because I just tested this out and got it wrong on camera, so I had to redo it. And then again, you want a couple rails here. Okay, looking good so far. So far, so good. So last time I did it, the piston heads extended. That's why I tried again, just because I think that isn't supposed to be the case. So if your piston heads extend, then you need to try again. You want them to be retracted like this. And then what we can do is pop a minecart with TNT, let it blow up, and of course grab our stuff back. But as you can see, the piston heads have disappeared. So very strange, right? Anyway, next up, let's break this piece of obsidian. I don't think we need that anymore. Okay, so we can actually go ahead and clear up the rest of these blocks. So let's get rid of the obsidian first, and we'll take the rails back, the redstone blocks, and the rest of these miscellaneous track pieces. So next step, we need another sticky piston, and we want to be facing east for this, I believe. So facing east here. I need to try to remember which one was the sticky one. So we want to be looking at 56, -70. So this one here is the sticky one. So facing east, we want to have this underneath there, I believe. So when the piston head extends, it goes underneath the sticky piston. Okay, next up, we want to break this redstone block and the rail on top of it, like so. And we'll just grab that before we do anything else. Then we want to activate the sticky piston right here. And as you can see, that gets rid of the rail that was on top of the piston and also sort of switches the piston head from this piston to that piston. So now we've got a strange looking piston here, a strange looking piston here, and then another regular piston here. So I don't really know what's going on, but we seem to be on the right track. After switching the piston heads, you can get rid of this initial sticky piston. That shouldn't change anything at all, but then just double check that you are on the right block still. So 56, negative 70, which is perfect. And then again, you want to be facing south. So is this south? This is south. Perfect. And then you'll place a block above this piston here. You'll grab a lever from your shulker box, which we have right here. And you'll just pop this lever here and flick it on. So nothing really changes after turning the redstone lever on, even though a signal should be going to this piston here, I'm fairly certain. So yeah, as I say, I don't really know what's going on. We've got 2 headless pistons, but I guess we will see as the tutorial continues here. Next step is to break this redstone block here, and then this track on top of the piston, but be very careful. You do not want to break the piston here. Otherwise, I think you'd probably have to start again. I'm not too sure, but I wouldn't risk it. So let's just see where we're facing. We're facing north. Perfect. So from this position, place a piston coming away from the headless piston here. That should extend. Then you want to grab yourself a slime block. Pop that on the end of the piston head. And then your regular block, so my cobblestone here is going to go underneath the slime. And then you want to get yourself a cobblestone slab, which you'll position just like this on the top side of the piston head. Then you want to fly under using the elytra if you can. There we go. Okay, it's not going to actually work in this update because you can crouch underneath slabs, so we might have to change things ever so slightly here. Possibly something like this. Okay, this might work. And then you want to grab yourself a piston and have the piston facing downwards on this spot here. So if you can get that to work, then great. There you go. That's exactly what you want. A regular piston facing downwards like this. And then you can get rid of your 2 slabs here. So you need to use the elytra crawling mechanism to get the piston like this. Otherwise, you might have to push the piston down there using pistons if you don't have access to the elytra just yet. Or otherwise, you could use a trapdoor to get yourself into the same position without the elytra wings. Okay, so we're on the final step right now, and I'm really hoping that we didn't mess anything up. So this should be, right now, we should have the lever there, which we do, good. Then we need a piston in here, which should extend. There we go. Another regular block right here, so just to the right hand side of the piston body. And then when we flick this lever, the bedrock should break. It should be broken underneath here, I believe. And no, we didn't get the right... We didn't break any bedrock, so possibly this doesn't work anymore. So I apologize about that failure. I think I've figured it out this time though. This should be correct. I think I know what went wrong last time. So let's try again, shall we? And just see what happens here. So if I pull this lever, okay, the piston comes out, and then under here, we've got a hole through the bedrock. So let me quickly explain to you what went wrong. I accidentally didn't remove the redstone block that was behind this piston. Okay, and that isn't explained in the tutorial either. So if you're doing this yourself, be sure to remove that redstone block. Otherwise, things won't work. But as you can see, we've now successfully made a hole in the nether ceiling, which is awesome. And this means that we can build a ladder that comes all the way up through to the top here, and we don't need to worry about using the portal to get out of here anymore. So I will relight that just in case. We'll also pop a few things away into our shulker box here, which provided us with everything that we needed to get the job done. And we are almost in the same location as our portal. So if I dig, I'm kind of scared to dig down actually. I think maybe a better idea would be to actually just go back through the portal and dig our way through from the bottom, because we know where we are now anyway. We are on 56, negative 70. So from down below, we can easily locate this block that we need to dig through. And then once we've got the ladder in place, I think I will go and wrap up today's episode. All right, guys. So to cap off an episode that doesn't really seem like we've done a lot in, but is very, very useful for the long run, let us break through the surface of the nether ceiling together. We've just got a couple more ladders to put in. I just need to break out the rest of the netherrack as well. We are almost there, so don't worry. It's not going to be too long a process. The ladder actually has to start in a pretty dodgy location, but I'm sure we'll be okay for now. We also get a little bit exposed here, but we should be good. I don't think any ghast are going to spawn in there, and if they do, that's very unlucky on our part. Anyway, here we go. The last few ladders, 2, 3, 4, and we have connected our nether surface to our nether ceiling, which is very, very convenient for us. Now we can think about building an amazing gold farm up here that provides us with all the gold experience, all that good stuff, everything that we could ever need in terms of those two things. Anyway, you guys, that is going to be the end of this episode, as I mentioned earlier. Thank you very much for coming along today and watching episode 129. As I say, it's been a very useful one. This is very convenient for us in terms of projects that are up and coming and useful things that we can build. So all of those of you who've been asking for a gold farm, don't worry, we will get started on one very, very soon. Very, very soon indeed. So as I say, guys, if you did enjoy today's episode, please be sure to drop a like. That would be much appreciated. Any comments should be directed towards the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you in any way that I can. And finally, if you're new around here or haven't subscribed yet, then be sure to subscribe if you want to stay tuned to this series or any other videos I post to my channel. Most of them will be Minecraft related, so if you are a fan of the game, then of course there is reason to subscribe. You'll see a lot of Minecraft content from me in the coming future. Anyway, guys, aside from that, I do appreciate the fact that you're taking precious time out of your day to come to my videos. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.